Hi, I'm Madeline. Everyone calls me Maddie, except my dad. He insists on using my full name, like it's some kind of power move. At 17, I've learned to navigate his moods, but that skill didn't help me last Thursday. Madeline, come meet Vanessa properly, Dad called from the kitchen, his voice forcing cheerfulness. I found them at the breakfast bar, his arm around her shoulders. Vanessa, 29, blonde and trying too hard, gave me a practiced smile. We've already met, Dad, I said. 3 times. Well, this is different. Vanessa's moving in this weekend. Moving in? It's been what, 2 months? Almost 4, Vanessa corrected, her voice honeyed with fake patience. Your father and I have been spending a lot of time together while you're at school. I bet, I muttered. What was that? Dad's tone sharpened. Nothing. Congratulations on the cohabitation. I turned to leave. Sit down, Madeline. We're not finished. Vanessa will be redecorating the house, Dad said, including your room. My room? Why would she? This place needs a woman's touch, Vanessa interrupted. Your mother's taste was so dated. The mention of Mom, gone 3 years, hit me hard. Mom designed this house. Every inch of it. And now it's time for a change, Dad declared. I was thinking we could turn your room into more of a guest space, Vanessa added, since you'll be off to college soon anyway. I'm not leaving for another 1.5 years. Well, we can start the transition. She smiled tightly. Maybe move some of your things to the basement? Are you serious? You're letting her pack me away like last season's clothes? Don't be dramatic, Dad snapped. This is my house. It was Mom's house too, I said quietly. Your mother is gone, Madeline. It's time you accepted that. I have accepted it. What I don't accept is you erasing her memory with... I gestured at Vanessa. Whatever this is. Vanessa gasped. Robert, are you going to let her speak to me that way? Apologize to Vanessa, now. For what? Telling the truth? Mom's been gone 3 years and you've had 4 girlfriends. But sure, Vanessa's special enough to redecorate and convert my bedroom. You ungrateful little... Dad started toward me. I'm going to Jasmine's, I said, backing away. Dad caught my arm. His grip was tight enough to make me wince. Let go. You're not going anywhere until you show some respect. Respect is earned, I shot back. And you lost mine when you decided your girlfriend was more important than your daughter. That's when he slapped me. Vanessa's eyes widened with what looked disturbingly like satisfaction. Robert, she said softly, maybe we should all calm down. But Dad wasn't listening. You think you can disrespect me in my own house? He shouted, grabbing my shoulders. What happened next is still a blur, being dragged to the garage, the trunk of his Mercedes opening, darkness closing in. His voice cold. You can stay there until you learn some manners. The last thing I saw was Vanessa watching from the doorway, doing absolutely nothing. Maddie? Oh my God. Jasmine's voice reached me first, then light flooded in as the trunk opened. Her face appeared above me, horror etched in every feature. Behind her stood her brother, Eli, and their mother, Mrs. Chen. Call 911, Mrs. Chen ordered. No, I managed. No police. Sweetie, you're hurt, Mrs. Chen said gently. Your father did this. We need to report it. My body ached as they helped me out. I'd been there for hours, until Dad had driven to the Chen's house, opened the trunk, and told me to get out. When I couldn't move quickly enough, he'd just left me there with the trunk open. How did you know I was here? I asked. Your father called, Mrs. Chen said tightly. Said you were throwing a tantrum and needed to cool off at our place. When we found you. I'm calling the police, Eli said, pulling out his phone. Wait. I grabbed his wrist. Please, just let me think. There's nothing to think about, Jasmine argued. He locked you in a trunk, Maddie, after beating you. If we call the police, what happens then? Where do I go? You stay with us, Mrs. Chen said firmly. For as long as you need. He's still my dad, I whispered. Jasmine sat beside me. Maddie, this isn't the first time, is it? I looked down. He's always had a temper, but it got worse after Mom died. And now with Vanessa. Did she see what happened? Eli asked. She watched, did nothing. She actually seemed pleased. That's messed up, Eli muttered. Here's what's going to happen, Mrs. Chen said. First, we document your injuries. Then we call Melissa. Melissa was Mrs. Chen's best friend and a family court attorney. The next morning, Melissa arrived with Diana Rodriguez, a social worker specializing in teen abuse cases. Madeline, Diana said. Can you tell me what happened yesterday? I told them everything. The argument, the slap, the trunk. Has anything like this happened before? Diana asked. Not the trunk, I admitted, but the hitting. Sometimes, when he's really angry. And Vanessa, when did she enter the picture? About 4 months ago. She's already talking about redecorating my room. Diana and Melissa exchanged glances. Based on what you've told us, Melissa said, we have grounds for an emergency protection order. You mean like foster care? My voice trembled. Not necessarily, Diana explained. The Chens have already offered to serve as a temporary placement. What about my dad? Will he go to jail? That depends, Melissa said honestly. What he did constitutes abuse and unlawful restraint. Those are serious charges. I don't know if I can face him in court, I whispered. You might not have to, Diana assured me. But there's something else to consider. If your father has done this to you and his girlfriend is encouraging it, they might do it to someone else, I finished. Tell them about Tyler, Eli urged. Who's Tyler? Diana asked. Vanessa's son, I said. He's 7. If Vanessa moves in? Diana nodded gravely. Then we have even more reason to act quickly. The courthouse hallway felt endless as we walked toward the hearing room. 1 week after that terrible day, I was about to face my father and Vanessa for the first time. Remember, Melissa said, you don't have to look at him. Just focus on the judge. What if he tries to talk to me? I asked, clutching my folder of photos. He won't get the chance, Eli promised. There they are, Jasmine murmured, nodding down the corridor. Dad stood with Vanessa and a man I assumed was their lawyer. Dad looked smaller somehow. Vanessa, on the other hand, seemed animated, gesturing as she spoke. Maddie. The voice stopped me. My father had spotted us. Diana and Melissa moved to flank me. Sir, you need to stay back, Diana warned. There's a restraining order in place. This is ridiculous, Dad scoffed. Madeline, tell them this is a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? You hit me and locked me in your trunk. I was teaching you a lesson about respect, he insisted. You were being impossible. Robert, his lawyer called, don't say another word. Tell them you provoked me, Dad demanded. Something inside me hardened. Is that what you told the police? That I deserved to be beaten because I didn't like your girlfriend redecorating my room? You're blowing this completely out of proportion, Vanessa interjected. Families argue all the time. Normal families don't lock children in car trunks, Jasmine shot back. She's hardly a child, Vanessa sneered, and she's been manipulating all of you. That's enough, Mrs. Chen said firmly. A court officer approached. Is there a problem here? These individuals are violating the restraining order, Melissa stated. Sir, ma'am, I need you to step back, the officer directed. This is my daughter, Dad protested. And there's a court order stating you need to maintain distance, the officer said. As they retreated, Vanessa hissed. This isn't over. Actually, it is, I called after her. You don't get to hurt me anymore. Either of you. Inside the courtroom, the judge reviewed the evidence. Photos, my statement, the Chen's testimony, and the police report. My father's lawyer tried to paint it as an overreaction to a disrespectful teenager. Mr. Parker, the judge said, are you seriously arguing that locking your daughter in a car trunk for hours was a reasonable response to a verbal disagreement? Your Honor, my client acknowledges his actions were excessive. Excessive? The judge raised her eyebrows. What you did constitutes abuse and unlawful restraint. Dad stood up. Your Honor, I love my daughter. I made a mistake in the heat of the moment. A mistake is forgetting to pick your child up from school, the judge replied. What you did was a deliberate act of cruelty. Madeline, Dad turned to me. Tell them you forgive me. I met his gaze. I don't forgive you, Dad, and I don't want to live with you anymore. You don't mean that, he insisted. We're family, blood. Family doesn't hurt each other like this, I said. And they certainly don't stand by and watch it happen. I glanced at Vanessa. Your Honor, Vanessa spoke up. I'd like to say something. The judge nodded reluctantly. I admit I witnessed the argument, Vanessa said, dripping with sincerity. But Robert was pushed beyond endurance. Madeline has been impossible since her mother died. Miss Reynolds, the judge said coldly. Are you suggesting that physical abuse and confinement constitute appropriate discipline? I'm suggesting that teenagers need boundaries. And I'm informing you that what you witnessed and failed to report was child abuse. Your presence in that home concerns me greatly, especially given that you have a minor child of your own. Vanessa paled. Your Honor, Diana spoke up. We have serious concerns about the safety of Miss Reynolds' son as well. Noted, the judge said. I'm extending the protection order for 6 months and ordering Mr. Parker to complete anger management and parenting classes. Miss Reynolds, I strongly suggest you reconsider your understanding of appropriate discipline. 3 months later, I sat in Melissa's office reviewing the agreement that would officially make Mrs. Chen my legal guardian until I turned 18. Once you sign, Melissa explained, your father will retain legal parenthood but no physical custody. He can petition for supervised visitation after completing his programs. And if I don't want visitation? I asked. The court will respect that, Melissa assured me. Mrs. Chen squeezed my hand. Whatever you decide, we're with you. The door opened and Diana entered with a young boy, Tyler. After our hearing, Child Services had investigated Vanessa, resulting in Tyler's placement with his grandmother. Hey, Tyler, I said. How's it going with Grandma? Good, he said shyly. She lets me have 2 cookies after dinner. I laughed. Grandmas are good that way. Tyler wanted to thank you, Diana said. His situation might have gone unnoticed if you hadn't spoken up. Tyler nodded. Mom says I have to live with Grandma until she learns to be a better mom. That's mature of her to admit, I said, surprised. She's trying, Diana confirmed. Without your father's influence, she's showing more insight. After they left, Jasmine and Eli arrived with balloons reading, Congratulations. How are you feeling about everything? Eli asked as we waited for the notary. Stronger, I said. I still have nightmares sometimes, but they're less frequent. And your dad? He sends letters through Melissa. Apologies mostly, saying he's changed. Do you believe him? Jasmine asked. I believe he regrets the consequences, I said. But trust takes more than 3 months to rebuild. I signed the guardianship papers with steady hands. As we were leaving, my phone buzzed. My father. I'm outside. Please talk to me. 5 minutes. My dad's outside, I said. He wants to talk. With you all there. We found him looking thinner and somehow older. When he saw us, hope flashed across his face. Madeline, he began. Thank you for coming out. What do you want, Dad? To apologize. In person. He glanced at the Chens. And to thank you all for taking care of my daughter when I failed. That's surprisingly self-aware, I said cautiously. Therapy helps, he admitted with a wry smile. I know I have no right to ask, but I was hoping, maybe someday. You want another chance? Yes. His voice broke. You're my daughter. I love you. I know you do, I said. But love isn't enough. It needs to come with respect, safety, and trust. I understand, he said. I'll keep working on myself. And when you're ready, if you're ever ready, I'll be here. What about Vanessa? I asked. That's over, he said. Some relationships aren't worth the cost. I nodded, unsure what to say. I signed the guardianship papers, I told him. He swallowed hard. I know. It's for the best, for now. For now, I agreed, not committing to anything more. Later that evening, sitting with Jasmine, I watched the sunset paint the sky. Do you think you'll ever forgive him? She asked. I considered carefully. Forgiveness isn't the same as reconciliation, I said finally. I might forgive him someday for my own peace. But trust? That's something he'd have to earn back, step by step. And Vanessa? She's Tyler's mother. For his sake, I hope she changes. For mine, I hope she stays far away. You know what I admire about you? Jasmine said. You stood up for yourself. You broke the cycle. Had some help, I reminded her. It takes courage to say no more, to set boundaries. A lot of people never get there. I thought about the journey of the past months, from victim to survivor to advocate, about the support group I'd joined for teens from abusive homes. I'm not the same person I was before all this, I admitted. Life changes us. The question is whether we have a say in how. I smiled, feeling the warmth of belonging, of safety. I think I do now, and that makes all the difference. Have you ever had to choose between what's expected and what you deserve? Between family loyalty and self-protection? The hardest battles aren't fought against others, but within ourselves, finding the courage to say, I matter, my safety matters, my future matters. And sometimes the greatest act of love is walking away until everyone involved has learned to do better.